Hi guys, and welcome back to this week's Flat Shift. This week we have an Audi R8 2009 V8 manual on the channel, first gen Audi R8. What an absolute smashing car this is. Absolutely stunning. When you're in his presence, you just realise how wow they really put this car together. Just look at it. It's aged so well. And to be fair, like, the new shape has not even changed that much. But you just wait until you hear the noise of this thing. Oh my god. It's beautiful. We're going to run through the specs with the owner. It's got a few things done to it. Mainly standard. But it's got a few special things that really make this car stand out. Inside the cockpit. Just look at that. Reverse is down and dog bone back to the left. I think that's how you'd pronounce it, but just, you know, smooth the shifts are. Jump out. We'll take a look at the engine. Now obviously the engine and these are at the rear of the car, making these rear engined, I guess sort of mid, but predominantly rear engine. Four-wheel drive, 70/30, so rear biased, with a big V8 over the back, so I can imagine sometimes it might get a bit squirrely. I guess you're wondering, in this car, where do you put your luggage or your shopping? Well, truth is, you ain't getting much in here. You've got a little bit of room at the back. You can fit like a small suitcase or something like that if you're going on holiday with the missus for a couple of days. You ain't going longer than that, I know. But let me pop the front for you. I'm just going to check this out. And boom. That's how much space you got. To be fair, yeah, it's bigger than I thought. Obviously got a car cover in there. But it's actually bigger than I thought. You know what, I reckon I could get in there. Me, you know, 5'6.5". I'd fit in there. Oh, just look, his presence. It's big, it's wide.
Hello,
Mr. Richard Doby. Some of you may know him from Fast and Fun. So yeah, a few questions about the car before we set off.
Yep.
How long have you owned it?
Just under a year now.
Right. Okay. And why did you buy an R8?
I think it was part of a midlife crisis. But I just thought that I've always loved the R8 when they first came out. It was so un-Audi-like, and a mid-engined, manual open-gated shifter, normally aspirated. And I just think they're going to be rare cars in the future, where we've moved to automation, we've moved to smaller capacity and turbocharging, and I just think we're going to look back at, especially the Gen 1 R8s, but the R8s as a whole are now obsolete because the last R8 left the factory sort of 6 months ago. Well, these cars, you'll never see these cars again.
No.
So that was it really. I think it'll hold its money well, and it'll add to my garage because I've not got a mid-mounted V8 in the garage currently.
Fantastic. Let's take this little beast out on the road. Oh my god, There's something really special about this car, and we'll get into that shortly. But for now, let's jump in. So first thing we notice is that exhaust. That is really something special, that. So then, Richard, a V8 manual R8.
Yep.
Now the question is, I know these in the ballpark region, they cost around about 35 to 40 grand.
Yeah, I think bottom of the market is about 30 for a high mileage.
Really? That cheap?
Yeah.
Okay.
And top of the market's probably mid-40s.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not sure how much you paid for this one, but why this car for that sort of money? Why if I was gonna spend 35 to 40 grand, why would I choose the R8?
Because I don't think, name another mid-engined car that looks like an R8, looks like a supercar. Whether it is or not is another matter, but
yeah,
another mid-engined supercar that sounds and looks like this with a gated manual shifter as well.
yeah.
Because
I mean, I can't think of many that you can get for that sort of price range.
the natural rival is a 911, probably a 997 Gen 2 911 is probably
Right.
its natural rival, about 40k. But
And did you think about that? Did you think about getting one?
Yeah, I
Did you have a
did.
look at
Yeah, I
any?
did. But they don't have the theatre of the R8. There's probably 10, 20 times as many 997 Gen 2s
Right.
as there are Gen 1 R8s.
Yeah.
There's certainly manuals.
And the first thing I really noticed when you come across this car, when you got it, was its presence and like how you feel around the car, and it definitely feels like a supercar. And yeah, a lot of people say it's not a supercar, but when you're inside it and when you're around it, and the feedback people give when they look at you, you definitely feel like it's a special car, which it should be put into that category, I think.
Yeah, I think for sure. You've got a V8 that revs to the rev limit is 8 and a quarter. So, and because it's not got huge amounts of torque,
Yeah,
all that power's in the top end.
yeah, yeah.
So you fluff a gear change up, you're in the wrong gear. It's not necessarily supercar quick.
No.
Modern hot hatches, which I've talked about, will be just as quick nowadays.
Yeah.
Automated, Tiptronic type gearboxes are just so quick. And modern turbocharged engines, electric cars, of course, they're massively quick, but it's about how it looks, it's about how it sounds, it's about how it makes you feel as a driver as well.
Yeah. Little squirt. So I guess the question is, S-tronic or manual? You've obviously gone for the manual. Why is that?
So, I think just to explain it in a bit more detail, so when the R8s first came out, 07, 08, this is an 08 plate,
Yeah.
the S-tronic hadn't come out, it was an R-tronic.
Right.
So that was a automated manual and
Okay.
a single clutch, and to get smoother changes you had to lift off the accelerator and treat it like an automated manual.
Right. Okay.
It can be a bit clunky, apparently, never driven one. But if you drive them properly, apparently they're absolutely fine. But why would you buy an R8 when one of the best things of the R8 is the open gated manual?
Yeah.
Other than price and cost and value,
Yeah.
that's the only reason really to go for an R-tronic. That was replaced by the S-tronic in about 2012. So we had about 4 years with the S-tronic was a twin clutch system.
Okay.
And why Audi didn't fit the renowned DSG in the R8 is because there wasn't space. Apparently for the gearbox, because it's dry sumped,
Yeah.
the engine sits lower, and there wasn't space for a DSG gearbox in the R8. That's why they had to come out with the R-tronic.
Brilliant. Wow. There you go. That's why he chose the manual. I don't know if you can really make out how loud this thing is. It is literally ricocheting off this valley, look. I'm stood in the middle of the forest. And I swear people will be able to hear this from flipping miles away. It's insane. So this does not sound stock at all. It must have a pipe on it, right?
Yeah, so probably one of the biggest weak spots of the original R8 was it was just a relatively quiet exhaust.
Right.
So many nowadays have got aftermarket exhausts, and there's a whole host of valved exhausts, and this has got a capristo, Italian, very expensive exhaust. So if I only looked yesterday, actually, if you wanted a capristo, the $7,500 US, so about 6,400
Christ.
British pounds for this, and you've got to think the exhaust is only about 3 foot long.
That is insane. And what is that? Because it's made of a special material like
It's the
that?
material, it's the material, it's about lightness, it's about durability.
Yeah. And obviously
It's about noise, and because it's valved,
yeah.
that gives you a lot of flexibility in regard to quietening it off or making it louder, and you can do that manually, or you can put it into a thing called sport, and it will open and close depending on the back pressure in the exhaust.
Right. So and how's that done through a fob, or is that like a?
Yeah, so there's a key fob with several different buttons on it. So you can have it what we call cruise, which means it's largely closed, and it's quiet, and it will only open when there's high back pressure in the exhaust, so high in the revs normally.
Right.
You can have sport, which is the default value really, where again it's closed at lower revs, but it will open as soon as it starts detecting some sort of back pressure, so you're going onto the putting power down, it will open up.
Yeah.
Or you drive it like many people, including myself, it's not a daily, it's a weekend toy. I want the theatre, I want the noise.
Wide open.
So I have it open, and it stays open regardless balance of throttle and engine.
And that really gives you the full experience of the V8. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Thanks to Rich
Thanks, guys.
and his R8. I'll put a link below for his channel, Fast and Fun. But join you again next week for another video on Flat Shift.